Hello and welcome to the Hoof GP. Today we're picking up Charles, whoever Charles is. Anyway, he's about to go on a hoof trimming adventure and we are going to be looking at a lot of front feet. Guys, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button and you've watched 2 or 3 of my videos, then you might as well do it right now and you'll get a notification every time I upload. On with the video, guys. First, I gotta go and pick up the curse from the new house though. Still haven't seen a sunrise from there yet. Can't wait. This coffee is so good. That right there is gonna be the view I wake up to every morning very, very soon. Blows you away. Here's a tip, when your key fob battery is dead, look, my battery is dead, pull the key fob up and let's go. Bin lorry literally parks my way every single day. Doesn't even matter where I am or what time I am, it finds a way to park in my way. I'm not actually sure what this guy looks like, so hopefully just some random stranger doesn't jump in with me. Craig's gonna be relegated to the back as well. You alright? How's it going?
Fine, thank you.
You good?
What's this? Backseat drive holiday?
It is cold this morning. Charlie is 18 years old. He works at a big farm near here, milking about 1,300 cows, I think. He's done a tiny bit of foot trimming before, but we're going to try and get him up to speed so that he can start doing a few himself and build up his confidence. But first we got to clean this area. Craig's not happy because my one's bigger than his one is. Although Charlie's done a bit of hoof trimming in the past, it's absolutely essential that we run through some health and safety, especially where the grinder's concerned. And once we've gone over everything that could be a hazard, I get on with the task of trimming and Charlie watches. I trim the first few cows purely by myself, with Charlie looking onwards and asking all of the right questions.
We're still here, flipping coins about what's to come. It starts getting cold, and we don't know any way out of here. We try to understand how it all started to go wrong, but the sea is way too deep. Yeah, it's deeper than we could ever go, honey. We have to be together here in the stormy weather.
So this cow's going to need a block. When a cow walks in the crush, you're not trying to make her feet look pretty or perfect or anything like that. You're just trying to make the cow feel more comfortable. No way. So now you can see obviously there's an 1.5 of 35mm difference between here and here, so there's no weight on this whatsoever. But you can also see there's a problem underneath that. We need to solve that problem now. Extremely tough horn. You can see the difference on this side. See, it's smooth.
Yeah.
And you can see that the crack goes that way. So you don't trim this side, obviously. You could be really tempted just to dig away in there, but actually when you remove the horn, maybe this will disappear. It's not gonna, but sometimes it would. There is still, again, this horn, so I'm going to go a bit deeper now, like cutting around about this. The brown bit?
Yeah.
So there's no dermatitis on this, so we don't need to wrap it or anything. It's not majorly open. So a bit of iodine is just going to dry it up, it'll stop it bleeding, and it'll stop any bacteria getting in. Genuinely, she's going to feel miles better. Yeah. And then feel that glue, that's how hard it should be. It should be totally solid. If there's any squeeze, then it's not ready. So because Charlie's not really trimmed many cows' feet before, I am trimming these cows myself and explaining exactly what we're doing. And then when it comes to a cow that's got a really big foot, he can have it go with the grinder because it's going to be completely safe for the cow, because he can't possibly go too far, because I'll be stood right next to him and we'll stop him before the end of the trim, and then I'll finish it off. So this cow has a heel ulcer. So Craig's got this block stuck on here, and this is probably going to be a sole ulcer. So now we've got that on, we're going to remove all of this crappy non-attached horn. Unattached, not non-attached. If you come around this side, you'll see better. So again, we're going to take as little away as we can, but everything that is unattached. Or non-attached, if you want to use that word from now on. And you'll see this horn is really easy to cut. Look, these knives are really sharp, but this outer wall horn is really, really hard. Like, that's the same with every cow. Yeah. So taking away these edges and thinning out the edges is called debriding, and it's really essentially to kind of thin out the edges so that it doesn't just come to a sharp point. Yeah. Because as the new horn grows in the corium, which is the bit that grows the horn, is trying to heal it, the sharp edges will keep insulting it. See, so although this is coming all the way up and it looks quite extreme, we need to remove it, otherwise it won't heal. But again, you could have stopped by now. You could just have put that block on and taken this foot down a bit, and she would be more comfortable. So problems like this come about because this cow hasn't been trimmed at an early enough stage, and this claw has become too big, so it's bearing too much weight, and that in turn bruises the corium, which eventually causes an ulcer, which is exactly what this is, a heel ulcer. So the reason we model this out, it's not to make it look pretty or anything. The main problems you'll get in cows are sole ulcers, and they happen in here, here and here. Usually it's on the inside claw on the front feet and on the outside claw on the back feet. You know how we saw the bruising earlier on? Well, the bruising is an ulcer, but it's the very beginning of an ulcer. So if we hadn't removed the height from here, then the bruise that is here, there's not one on this foot, but if there was, it would have got worse and worse and worse, and then eventually basically blistered, and that's an ulcer. So we've trimmed about 10 cows now. Charlie's been watching every single one and asking all of the right questions, which is really good. And now it's time for him to have a go and have a feel of exactly what it is he's going to be doing. Come on, girls, stop! We've also got a lot of cows to do today, so we need to be very wary that we do it in as timely a fashion as possible, because it's really important for the farmer that these cows get straight back to their cubicles and back to the feed fence as soon as possible.
Part of me you guys always see. Me making the coffees. Wait for the Craigbot with takeover video. That's when it's all going to change. Graham will be making the coffees.
I never hold it with one hand.
And once the second batch of cows are in, it's time for Charlie to have a go at trimming himself, with me right beside him, checking his every move to make sure that he doesn't go too far for either him or for the cow.
And then it's time for the most important meal of the day, coffee. This is Craig's mug. Thanks for lending me.
Us as well.
So here's a foot I started trimming, and to get Charlie used to the feel of the grinder, he can really kind of go to town on this because it really is big. So what I've done is I've trimmed this claw back to the right length and the right height, and now Charlie has to replicate that on this foot here. really is pleasing to see somebody progress so quickly, and Charlie really is beginning to pick it up after only 10 or 15 cows, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be a good hoof trimmer. Even with his confidence growing though, this foot presents a real challenge, so once Charlie gets close to the end product, I take over to make sure that he doesn't go too far at all, and the cow definitely gets the best treatment possible.
What's that?
Already falling up.
Yeah, exactly that, and that's partly why you don't go straight to that, because a lot of time during the normal steps it'll come away. It's in my way a wee bit there, so I'll just cut it off. Get rid of this crack. Right, now that's done, we're going to get rid of any loose horn. So up here's all loose. And then there's loose horn there, it's all cracking, so we'll take that away.
And with that done, here's a quick before and after, and I'm pretty sure you'll appreciate that this cow will be far more comfortable.
No, don't stand there. So this cow has an existing block, and it's probably been on about 2 months worth. So this is a really good one to show Charlie exactly how to deal with cases like this. So you can see straight away before I've even cleaned it that there's been a major problem here. See how it's yellow? That means it's been bleeding at some point. Okay. The yellowness is from the white plasma, like so white blood cells that's seeping into the horn as it's growing. In other words, it's healing up pretty well.
Yeah.
So we don't want to send her backwards after all this progress. If you press that, so give that a press.
Yeah.
It's very soft, isn't it? So if you press there, that'll feel like rock.
Yeah.
So there is like no depth of horn here whatsoever, but at the same time we need to make sure that there's no cracking horn, because that cracking horn will develop into a problem again and she won't completely heal. So I'm going to take away all the dirt around a bit here. Straight away I'm thinking you actually see the epidermis of that spray that we've used last time. You can see it. Now there's a high ridge round here, so we're going to try and get rid of that ridge and just make sure that none of this is starting to crack, but we'll do it as gently as possible. So I'm going to smooth out these. And this is, it's mostly to ensure, to check that it is all properly attached. So you see this little tiny crack here?
Oh yeah.
It looks like nothing, but we need to make sure that it isn't going to materialise into a problem. See how it's completely faded out? There's no indentation or anything like that.
Yeah.
And see this ridge, the reason I'm removing it is, remember I said that you can dig a hole in a cow's foot slightly, but you need to remove the side so the slurry can get out?
Yeah.
Well, the side of this is impacting with slurry, which could start to creep up the inside wall of the cow's foot.
Yeah.
And cause a problem. So see how it's fading away to nothing now? Cool that, isn't it? How it's healed though?
Aye. We finished the day off with Charlie doing a few back feet and getting any last questions in before the day finishes. And today has been a good day. I take my customers' employees along for the ride fairly regularly, and it's not something we charge for, it's something I truly believe in, working together to give these cows the best possible hoof care.
This is not like a proper hoof trimming course or anything like that. It's not even a proper training day. This is more of a ride along for Charlie. He has done the odd foot before, and the farm he works at would like him to do kind of SOS emergency hoof care. In other words, get the cows feeling more comfortable so that someone else, like the foot trimmer or the vet, can then deal with them a few days later or whenever it is they're due to come to the farm. Charlie started out with pretty much no knowledge, and he's actually picked up really well. So our advice for him is to go straight back to the farm that he works at, pick up a few cows' feet and get some functional hoof trimming in. In other words, be gentle, don't take too much off, get them pain free. So if they've got something wrong with their foot, he'll put a block on the good sound claw, take away some of the loose horn, but not necessarily go as far as me and Craig would. The ideal would be that Charlie goes back tomorrow and picks up a few cows' feet so that he can really put to work the things that he's been learning today. How do you do that then, Charlie?
Oh, I don't know. You're gonna go back and trim some more?
Yeah.
We might, maybe, depending on what Joanne says, get Charlie back in a few weeks to come out trimming again, because once his knife skills have kind of built up and once your grinder skills are better, you actually kind of get more from it.
Yeah.
And I'm such a thoughtful and kind person, I even let Charlie clean the crush. Thanks to every single one of you for watching and supporting the channel, guys. Talk to you soon.